Yeah. That's it. Boom.
Oh,
bingo.
Fucking Patricio steps in from
Thank
the
you.
bullpen. We call the righty, and
Save the
then
Thank you.
pull the hippo from the mount right now.
Yes.
So everybody missed a disclaimer. So I'm not
let's
gonna repeat
let's
Yeah.
start the whole thing over.
it. Yeah. Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
it. Do the sound again.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Maybe we're starting over.
Yeah.
Hurry.
Hurry. Wait. There it goes. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle.
Thank you and Ashley for
Yes.
Yes.
setting me straight.
Yes.
Stan.
So
Bye.
okay, hold on. We're and we're back. Going through like the disclaimer again. Do not do anything and say that I told you to do it. That's fucking stupid.
Okay.
And this is the opinion of me, Carlos, not the opinion of Dr. Benjamin Abbo or the Rescue Company One. Anybody that houses or employs the Rescue Company One, or hey, follow your local protocols and don't do stupid shit. Anything I say tonight offends you, well, you should turn this motherfucker off. I'm offensive from the very beginning. Patricio?
That coffee smells amazing.
Oh yeah, I know.
Did you want me to make you one?
I can't believe you came back
I
without.
love you,
more than
baby.
one.
I love you.
So and the hippos on the ones and twos that you know,
Ish.
and
You need one too,
yeah,
Jason?
yeah.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
And we now have sound, and the most beautiful woman in the world is back. Hey, baby.
Hey.
Nobody,
I love
nobody,
you.
I love
nobody.
you.
You didn't miss anything.
Yes.
'Cause I fucked it all up.
And birthday buddy's back.
I never left.
Yeah. Well, we're back now all together. So listen, Patricio's been missing for a few weeks. We thought he was in
We
prison.
missed you.
I caught the COVID. I lost a car.
Well, what happened to your car?
So the engine cracked.
Oh, no shit, huh?
Yeah, in the weirdest way possible. I'm gonna say that one off air.
Yeah.
But yeah, it overheated on I-4, and I was stuck on the side of I-4 in downtown, heavy traffic, 7:00 at night, and luckily, a Haitian angel came out of nowhere.
Yeah, man, that's a brave soul right there.
And
Because you got serial killer written all over you.
Right? Yes. I wouldn't pick it.
I'm like, you are definitely a hitchhiker. I'm not picking up.
well, no, I actually had one of my attorney friends, my attorney buddy, bring me some gas because I thought it was gas.
No shit.
And no, this Haitian tow truck pulled out of nowhere, brought me to my fiance's house. But here's the sad thing, and I'm not trying to shoot down on anybody. He was witnessing to me the entire time.
Oh, no shit, man.
Yeah,
You
he's
gotta try
like-
to see if Jesus Christ died for your sins and
Exactly,
stuff.
letting
Yeah.
me know that Jesus made my car die down on I-4 for a
So-
reason.
Yeah, man.
So you could meet him and he could save you.
Exactly.
So
Your
is
life
that
is now better.
is that why you're wearing the white shirt today? Are you gonna get baptized right now? You going to baptism?
Well, actually, I've been baptized 3 times.
No shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
It didn't
Is-
work the first two?
No.
barely not.
The first time was when I accepted Christ. Second one was first one was Catholicism. Second one was when I accepted Christ, and the third one was when I regave my life to Christ, my being reborn. But there's actually a funny story in Arizona where a priest was saying the words incorrectly to
No shit.
a number of people who had been baptized, and according to the Vatican, the words that he used incorrectly means that the people that were baptized under his authority are not really baptized.
No shit.
Yeah, I heard about
Damn.
that last night.
I'm glad I
Blew
didn't
my
have
mind.
that dude. You know what I mean? I think the dude that baptized me, he went down right. He got hit by a car,
Oh,
but never touched any kids. Number one.
That's good.
You know,
He's
number
in it.
two, and
Yeah.
number two, he knew his shit right. So like, he used to apparently, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Are you Catholic? There, Jason.
Not Catholic.
No shit.
Christian,
Yeah.
but not necessarily Catholic.
Pentecostal Christian.
Just I don't know. I believe in the Lord and Jesus Christ.
this podcast got religious pretty quickly here, huh?
I'm a adventure Baptistarian. I don't know.
You raised in the South, man.
Yeah.
You know, like my favorite podcast, Small Town Murder says, Baptists are the Catholics of the South.
Yes, right.
You know what I mean?
I was saved by the 7-pound, 8-ounce baby Jesus.
That's
Yeah. I do like my baby Jesus.
Oh my God, you got coffee?
Yeah.
Ew.
So put a
Man.
little bourbon in that.
Oh man,
For you.
that smells
So
amazing.
I'm gonna share mine
Just
with you.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey,
You can punch him
would this be considered the blood of Christ?
Yes.
right in the throat.
And yep. Hey, baby. I missed
Hey.
you.
I miss you.
So we got some nice bourbon here that was given to us by the nice students from Martin County.
Oh,
They're
very
just-
cool.
allegedly.
Yeah,
I
right.
like the bottle.
Yeah, it's nice.
That
It's
is an
got
awesome bottle.
it's got angel wings on the back,
Mhm.
like a stripper.
That's a sign.
Oh,
Yeah, you ever seen a stripper with angel wings before? I had a lap
Uh,
dance from a chick like that one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Once.
or twice. Maybe 3 times. Did not check her oil like our resident oil checker.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, let's stir that a little bit closer to your microphone. That's awesome. All right.
Give me ASMR
Well,
again.
birthday buddy, tell us what today's about.
Today's about a lot of things.
Yes.
We've had a pretty significant week.
Oh, that's delicious.
So it's still Black History Month. So we're
Oh.
gonna
Awesome.
highlight somebody there.
Yep.
As everyone knows, America's dad died and his autopsy report was released.
We
You're gonna
need to
talk
talk
a little
about
bit
that.
about
There's
that.
some strange shit been happening with
Allegedly.
old Bob Saget. Oh,
A very
Allegedly.
important day happened. It was World Hippo Day.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that is very, very important.
It's very important.
So
Yesterday was the 911 system's birthday,
no shit.
Happy
Birthday.
birthday.
and it all falls.
What?
And it
That's
all
funny.
falls
Yay.
in Heart Disease Month.
Man,
Yeah.
that's some good shit.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
What'd you guys have for lunch?
What do you think we had?
Tacos.
Nachos.
Oh, okay.
I had Church's taco this morning,
Oh, okay.
and then we had tacos later.
for dinner. Okay.
Yes.
I had tacos
Allegedly.
that weren't Trish's.
Allegedly.
For dinner, but not. For,
But it was like dinner. It was like 4.
Yep.
Trish's favorite word. Did she tell you that word, or you already had that?
Mm-mm.
You Leonard. She loves shit like that.
What,
Mixing words together and stuff.
what does that word mean?
Lunch,
Lunch and
and dinner.
dinner.
Oh,
Combined.
Linner.
Like brunch,
Oh.
dinner.
So, hey, birthday buddy, the 911 birthday was yesterday.
I thought we were going to talk about Sangry next.
No, I'm not gonna get there. Not yet. When we talk about Bob Saget, we'll talk about sangriness. Hey, like, so what year did they create the 911 system?
1968.
1968.
Actually,
Oh, let's hear.
Oh my.
it
There we go.
started in November of 1967 when AT&T met with the FCC to find a means of establishing a universal emergency number that could be implemented quickly. It went live and had its first call in Alabama in 1968.
That's pretty cool.
And that was the birthday we celebrated yesterday. That was the day of the very first 911 call.
So now let me ask you this question: like, what does the rest of the world use for emergency number? Do you know that?
I don't know.
That's a pretty good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah, that's a good question. That should be the question of the week.
411.
No, babe, I don't think that's it. I love you though. You're so beautiful. What is it? Anyway?
409.
I don't know. Go GTS that shit.
Oh, I thought you knew that.
I don't know the goddamn answer. That's what I'm asking.
I'd like to phone a friend.
If I,
Yeah. So, and then, but you know what's interesting is 1966, they wrote The Decay and Deterioration of Modern Society. Death and Disability, we call it the white paper. What's interesting about that there, Hippo? 1966, big paper written. We may or may not be allegedly sitting in a building where there's a copy of the motherfucker downstairs.
Well, I didn't read it. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
well, that's why you're a paramedic. You'd be a homeless man if it wasn't for that paper right now. Literally, you'd be sitting there with your hair holding a cup, trying to pretend breakdancing.
There's a lot.
At a bus station.
Give me a country.
Europe.
That's a continent.
Well, yeah, like most of Europe though, aren't they the same fucking number?
Isn't it like 991?
Doesn't say Europe.
Oh, what you got? England. How about that?
Ireland. Let's do that one.
Let's do Ireland.
I-
That's
Ireland.
good.
Put another
Ireland
shrimp on the
is-
barbie.
999 or 112.
Damn,
think
that's
that's a
confusing
great
as shit.
Irish
You got
accent.
options,
You like
man.
that?
Yeah.
Well,
You want to know
I-
what's
I
really
tried.
confusing
What's
is that
that?
there are some that EMS, fire, and police are all different. You gotta know
So
who
you
you're
have to
trying
know
to
who
call.
you need.
That's some fucking crazy shit.
Who knows who they want?
Man, we got something
I
right.
do.
And the greatest thing is that
You don't
the
call 911.
first place they put it in
They
place
don't.
was Alabama. Out of all places, you know what I mean? So you
Right.
know why we can't teach it as 9/11?
because
Because
there's not an
terrorist
11.
attack?
because it's
No.
not an 11
It's
button.
not
Yeah.
an 11 button.
Yeah, so that was the first like teaching. They used to go out and say 9/11, but there wasn't like people were looking for the number 11.
Yeah. Right,
Which is not true.
Well,
You know why it's not true? Because in 1967, when this thing comes out, right, and there was no what type of phones are there in that time.
oh, touchdown, probably.
Yeah.
There was no
Yeah, but
put.
they
It
had
was
You had to do
It
a
was
a
rotary.
rotary.
Rotary
It was a
dial.
rotary,
Ah.
Yeah.
but
Still don't have an 11.
there's no fucking 10 on it either.
I know.
I just think it's just stupid. 9/11.
So the meme for the day was today is 911's birthday. The first call was in 1968. The first, this isn't an emergency, but because
Yeah,
that's what every person that calls 911 says. Well, it's not really an emergency.
like
Then why'd you call 911?
have you ever had anybody call in with something in their ass, like
Ooh.
not say it over, like they say it over the phone?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
How do they say it?
It was
What
a
was it?
spatula.
Oh no
Whoa.
shit, huh? Handle or spatula?
Spatula. And
Yeah, that's why I don't play pong no more.
Shit and pancakes.
Shit and pancakes. Ah, beer fest.
But the best part
why I
about
love
the
you.
specific one was that they were a little embarrassed about it. However, they admitted that they were,
Incest.
doing
Oh.
some things,
Oh
Animal.
playing around with some things,
Yeah.
and it got stuck in there.
no shit.
Wow.
Literally.
Yeah.
No shit. That's I bet you there's not that for a person's first day playing varsity. You know
No.
what I mean? Like you take a spatula in the ass, you've taken at least something else in there.
A few something else.
I mean, what's the biggest thing you think you had in your ass, Jason? Prior to this. Allegedly.
Nothing goes in it. Exit only.
This shit, huh?
Exit-only
As one of
player.
our
You-
battalion used to say, exit only player.
I mean, you never
Exit only.
taken a finger in there or
No.
anything like that.
You
The,
won't let
as the
me.
prostate won't get milked. I'm not a fan of anything in my ass either.
No.
But I've,
I try all the time.
I have
Yeah.
I have played
What,
some
what's,
pre.
what's to say you wouldn't like it?
That's
I don't.
what keep
I don't
saying.
care.
I
I
play-
don't know.
I like it. Plenty of other things.
Well, this is the thing.
I don't
man.
need to find out.
I've played some preseason ball before.
Yeah.
And I've tried it, and it's just sometimes spring don't work out for me. It's more of a thing that's just I don't think my ass is ever that fresh. You know what I mean? To get something up in there.
Exactly.
So is it a
Yeah.
confident, like self-confidence?
Well, I clean it up pretty good. I did with the bidet and stuff. Make sure that thing's presentable, but I don't think it's licking presentable or finger worthy.
Yeah.
I think you get a return of fortunes when you stick your finger in my
It's
ass.
like whether you go back to front to back, or pinch, however you wipe your butt, I mean, you still
There's
have
still residue.
there's still something there.
Yeah. Now I will say that my baby's ass is always clean as shit.
Same.
Yeah.
Clean that shit.
Yo, hey, listen, that thing is eaten pretty regularly, so it's always presentable, and you never know I'm gonna eat your ass.
Patricia's ass.
That's the thing, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
You guys are ridiculous.
Well, let's stay on topic
Yeah.
right here. All right, birthday buddy, we have a Black History Month fact from you today.
We do.
Yo,
Orlando's first Black physician helped pioneer the area's first hospital.
no shit.
Oh.
Dr. J.B. Callahan moved here when he was 25 years old and was the first to open a private medical practice in Orlando. It was at the corner of Paramore and Church Street.
No shit, man. That's what's interesting about that is that what else was there at the corner of Paramore and Church Street?
Probably the coalition. Was it the coalition?
The coalition is on Central in Paramore.
Paramore. Okay.
Central and
Fire
Paramore.
station.
Is
Orange
like-
Grove.
It's a giant fucking pond now. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But Central you said it was Paramore and Church Street.
Yeah.
So you have the gas station. This is there. What south? I'm trying to think of
Oh,
where
it's
that.
the police station?
It was a substation.
now?
No,
There? Oh, no.
no, nothing sits there other than a giant pond. Because now you got the soccer stadium.
Right. Yeah.
Covers most of that corner there. But it was the south. I looked it up. Is the southeast corner was where the hospital was at.
This wasn't the
now gone.
hospital. This was his private
Practice,
Yeah.
Because wasn't like the first hospital on Central and Magnolia?
I didn't look.
Or-
I just
Central,
looked at
Central
the-
Magnolia was the first, the second site of the fire station.
Oh, okay.
Yep, where the
The hospital was called Orlando General at that time.
yep, and then it changed to Orange Memorial,
hmm
and then now is ORMC.
Philip, Gregory, and Carl Sullivan say what's up.
Man, Carl,
Hey.
bro, Carl came up in a conversation today, didn't he, baby?
Sure did.
Carl, I'm gonna call
Hey,
you
Carl.
later. You're gonna love it. Yeah. Congratulations, by the way. Carl came up.
Did he get 2 fingers up the butt?
No,
Oh.
Carl's a 3-finger guy.
Ah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he is. We've had conversations about this before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We got to
Very
have
touchy
Carl.
subject.
We have to have Carl on the podcast one day. So, birthday buddy, you know, one of the things that we need to look up, like, because we did
Found it.
whoa, what you got?
Orlando General Hospital was once a 15-bed facility that was a large converted house located at 603 Hillcrest Street.
No shit. That's a nursing home now.
And there's a picture of it.
Yep, that's a nursing home right there, Hillcrest Street.
Really?
Yep, absolutely. Been there, been on calls there before.
And then it moved
Allegedly.
to Lake Underhill with 50 beds.
No shit.
Yep. And then in 1990, Orlando General Hospital was acquired by Adventist Health Systems and is now Florida Hospital.
Oh, so that's
Oh.
east. So general
The
turn
wrong
east. Oh, check. So Orange Memorial, not the old Orlando General.
But this one that I read earlier said Orlando General Hospital is now ORMC. So
It
now
is.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to fact check these people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because like that's the
Orlando
old.
General is that's what ORMC used to be.
It used to be Orange Memorial.
Right, but before that,
We have to check that. Fact check
Yeah.
us. GTS that shit. Anyways, baby, what
What?
you got for announcements for people?
we have our air medical class April 25th through the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
We also have difficult airway that week, AMLS, PHTLS, TNCC.
Come get your refresher hours. You know, those are
Absolutely.
filling up.
Get your paramedic refresher. We're going to schedule another one of those classes in June or something like
Yeah, that's gonna be more not like there's gonna be us facilitating it, but it's gonna be more the EMLRC people doing the class.
Yeah, we're doing
It's gonna be pretty cool.
an ALS competition
Yes.
July 14th and 15th.
Yeah. So the old ClinCon competition. Now we've separated it into so it's gonna be the Bill Shear ALS competition, which has always been, and it's been held during ClinCon. But now the ClinCon conference is moving. So the Bill Shear ALS competition is going to be his own thing.
Yep.
So that's going to be July 14th.
July 14th and 15th.
Yep. So the 14th was prelims,
Yep.
which unofficially we could say that our competition as a Breast Company 1 is merging into the prelims.
Yep.
And as well as Carl's competition.
Yep.
Which we merged before the COVID, and the COVID killed the competition for that year. But and then the finals will be the 15th. Now there's no sequestering. There's
Nope.
going to be multiple scenarios, multiple locations. We're having a luau for the party.
Yep.
Which is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And people will get their money's worth when they come here. Now, mind you, that the Florida Cup game is on.
Yeah.
So Braxton, the top contender team this year.
You're not competing.
Well, I will not be competing at ClinCon, but
Right.
yeah, all the other competitions, you guys are fucked. So, 'cause I'm in. I came off the bench hot. I felt like Michael Jordan. Remember Michael came back?
Oh yeah. Well, with the Wizards or just like
No, when he came back for the Bulls for the last ride. You know what I mean? It's
okay.
just-
So the 96 return.
yeah, absolutely. And that's what I felt like when I was competing with these boys from Miramar. You know what I mean? I got called up to the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there pitching. It's pretty badass. So yeah, we're gonna go to Palm Beach State, kick some ass.
Nice.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. I'm the best there ever is. You ain't first, you last.
First, you last.
Bake.
So, baby, you got a word for us today
I do.
before we get into this? Because Miss Jody's like, y'all need to speed this shit up. You're already into this shit too long. See, not ready now.
She loves us.
Flop era.
Ooh,
Boom.
say it again.
Flop era.
Flop air. Can you use it in a sentence?
Good.
She could.
She could. Well, go ahead.
No.
Word of country of origin. I watched the fuck out of some spelling bee the other day.
Oh, it's okay. I'm just in my flop era.
Is it flop or flap?
Flop.
Flop. Man, I have no guess. What you got, Patricia?
Flop era. Just
It's okay. I'm just in my flop era.
just take a flop era. Chillaxing, relaxing.
Is it like when you let out a fart and you're just sitting in it? No. What you got?
I feel like it's like you're just. Oh, he has another one.
In between jobs.
No.
You've had a lot of flop errors. Oh, shit.
I feel like maybe it is a.
You never gets this right.
I know.
It's just it's all right. Like it's
But
just
I
like
try.
God,
do
do I have a
try.
list of fucking questions for you today when we get into this heart failure situation that we
So
got going on.
something has to do with like not caring about stuff. Like flop era.
No.
No,
All right, cool.
quickly there, buddy, because
Come on.
Jason took up all the time we
We
have
got-
for
You
the
like
word.
flop down, but you made an error and you fall off.
So it's a word that describes your life when it's falling apart.
That's not as good as we thought. Let's pick some nasty words. No, I
Okay.
love you. You've been like really on the money with the words lately, though. Like they've
Last
been like
one,
they've been
for sure.
relevant to the show.
Yep.
And stuff. Not as irrelevant as we normally like.
So more irrelevant. All right.
Well,
I'll
just a
get
little-
you another
A
one.
little bit of that. We're good right now.
I found a good text that goes with a conversation we had earlier.
Oh, go ahead.
It's not completely inappropriate like that, but it's
Well, go
pretty
ahead.
good. So this is a message between a dad and a daughter.
Yeah.
I want to punch her in the eye with a rusty fork. Well, this is awkward. I didn't mean to text you that, Dad. Don't forget to wear gloves. Keeps the fingerprints off the fork, even if it is a rusty one.
That is some funny
My
shit.
favorite part of this is how you don't even question who it is.
Yeah.
The less I know, the less I have to say during interrogation. We were talking about dads who
Oh, yeah.
give no fucks,
Yeah.
and how Carlos and my dad would be totally fine in jail.
Oh, let me tell you something. I would be just okay because I know basic prison rules and culture. Like, you know, you've been like I haven't personally had the privilege of serving some time.
No, he hasn't either.
But Patricio has been in
Oh,
there
yeah.
before. You
I
know,
had a mustard and bologna sandwich the other day.
oh yeah, again, yeah, allegedly. And you know, listen, I know that I would be okay being in there. I would trade some people around. I would have a good man horse stable that I would use to, you know, get things like shebang chips and biscuits. You know, I mean, I'll be just fine.
That'd be a good bang horn.
But you know, I was telling her, I was like, I would hope I want Zoe to have one bad boyfriend. See, you got to kill an Indian. You know, you got to kill one Indian. That keeps everybody else just right. You know what I'm saying?
You know the one that my dad came really close to.
And I say
getting?
that with all due respect for the Indians.
Oh,
Okay.
He
geez.
was an Indian.
Your dad was an Indian? Oh,
No, the one that the boyfriend I had that my dad came the closest to killing. He's an Indian.
no shit,
Like
like
for real, registered and everything.
Red dot
like
or
no, like a car dealing Indian?
Mhm.
No shit, huh?
Seminole.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, them boys are honorary as shit. Can't deal a fucking card worth their fucking life, but they're good. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Boy, we're early insulting the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are
Again, not the opinion
yeah,
of.
yeah. So it's a heart failure.
Yes.
So is it like heart
Heart
awareness or heart disease or heart failure?
The leading cause of death for men, women, and people of most racial and ethical groups in the U.S. is heart disease of some sort.
No shit.
How about Green and M&M? You want that one?
Well, that just came out of randomness city, but that's cool. Go ahead. Let's save that one for the next one.
Ay, ay, ay.
So listen, birthday buddy, do you know that it's different? Like what heart disease for women doesn't peak till what period of time?
Oh, I don't know.
So like when is it dangerous for women that are hippo to like have heart disease?
Probably after menopause
Can you explain why that is?
because of the hormones.
Oh, that's so
The
you know.
release of come on, you got to give me a little something.
Well, that's low fucking hanging fruit. I'm not gonna give you like
All right,
yeah,
so,
obviously it's
okay,
menopause,
so
like because like you know
I'm
it's
gonna
a-
go back to the what
Oh,
I
this is
know
good.
what I
Good.
know about
let me pour some more of this.
estrogen and testosterone,
Oh yeah, here we go.
and the fact that estrogen actually helps repair, or actually no, it helps clear away the
Plaque.
plaque. Well, I was thinking atherosclerosis, and once you hit menopause, you're no longer producing that estrogen.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. So yeah, wow, man, he pulled that out of his ass
Man,
with
he got that question right.
yeah, I know, with some help from the peanut gallery over here
Wow.
throwing words in there, but that's all right. I'll give you partial points. Yeah, so a lot of people don't
Seems like
understand.
he was struggling.
Yeah, he struggles every time. Don't help.
I don't want people to think that I'm, going to be different this time.
Yeah.
Come on.
So estrogen is cardiac protective. So it dissolves plaque. This is why, like, when you have an MI, a heart attack, and you go to the hospital, they put you on a cardiac safe diet, which is high in soy.
Yes.
Oh.
Soy turns into
Estrogen.
in the body, so it actually breaks down plaque and keeps your vessels nice and wide open.
Oh, wow.
So that's why women's incidences of cardiac problems are usually higher postmenopause versus prior to. So it's pretty interesting. What else you got on heart disease there, baby?
Interesting.
Birthday buddy?
One person dies every 36 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Gets confused.
I know.
It's the same.
Coronary heart disease is the most common killer. It killed 360,900 people in 2019.
No shit.
Approximately 18.2 million adults 20 years and older have coronary heart disease.
Damn. That's a lot of people.
And every year,
How many Spanish people?
5,000 people
Oh, we're
in
a
the
good
U.S. have a heart attack.
So, never mind.
Good Lord. She does that shit all the time.
I know. All
Like-
day
The cardiac
she's been doing
disease is like as far
coronary
as
heart disease.
coronary heart disease is the number what killer? Like number 1, number 2, number 4.
Well, I don't know. It
10.
didn't say that.
Okay.
GTS.
Good-
But in,
good to
in
know.
2019, it killed how many people?
360,900
That
Oh,
seems like
shit.
a lot.
That's
a
a lot
lot.
of people. So a few things
In the U.S. or worldwide?
in the U.S.
So a lot of times, oftentimes people come to the air medical class or one of the critical care classes, and we're going to get into hemodynamics and how to treat some of this stuff. And usually Tuesday is like one of the longest days of being in class because we kind of like start really basic with cardiac and then move on to more advanced stuff. But it's good to have Patricio back and on this subject because you're not a medical person.
Exactly. And I have tons of questions.
Yep.
Just coming into this.
Yeah. So
I have tons of answers.
yeah.
May
So
not-
They may
They're
not be
probably
right.
not right.
it
Like,
may
I
not
have tons of answers.
have to
Let-
do with your question.
Yeah.
But you have
Let-
lots of answers.
Let's get to the heart
Of
this
the
topic,
matter.
all right.
So before we get too crazy, and trust me, we got some crazy butt sex stuff to talk about here in a second.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well.
All over the place.
Oh, so, I made him squirt.
Yeah.
So,
Help back up.
let's have some good lesson situation going on here. So basically, the first thing, let's start basic. Blood pressure, right? Which is what's the equation to figuring out blood pressure? Remember that? Time's up.
It's not
Yeah.
what the monitor says.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No,
So,
no, I don't know the equation for that.
So remember, it's cardiac output
Right.
times systemic vascular resistance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the systemic vascular resistance, the higher the number, the more vasally constricted you are.
Right.
The lower the number, the more vasally dilated you are.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times when you're dealing with shock, right, which is hypoperfusion, all right, so or hypooxygenation of the tissues, right, is considered to be shock. You're dealing with a failure of the component of the blood pressure or the cardiovascular system, which consists of what? The vessels, the fluid, and the heart, the pump itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in every shock, tell you all that to tell you this, they're like every shock, you are going to be profoundly what? Vasally constricted, except for one type of shock, which is what?
The
Oh.
no, yeah, no.
It's just not going to silence the
sorry,
phone or anything.
sorry.
We're going to go ahead and grab that call. Yeah.
Call number
Yeah.
one.
Put her on here.
Hi. Fuck.
Oh man, this is
I know
good.
it's not obstructive. It's not.
What was the question?
I know this.
Every
It's
type of shock will
septic-
present with
septic
vasally
shock, which
constriction.
is-
Septic shock is
Yes.
one of them. Yep.
But the one I'm
That's
trying to
vasally
think of
dilated.
is-
Anaphylactic shock.
Vasally dilated. That's
Yep.
in the same family. Yep.
Yep.
Man, Patricio fucking threw one for the Mexicans in there.
Nice.
You
Awesome.
know.
Awesome.
And anything else? What you got? Distributive shock. Does that make it? Does that make it?
Distributive,
Yes,
that's the one.
absolutely. So every shock except for distributive
Yes.
shock, that family, which is anaphylaxis, septic.
Yep.
and
Hypovolemic.
no, that's just
Oh,
guessing
well.
at some shit, right? That one's basically constricted. Neurogenic.
Neurogenic.
So-
yes. Okay.
Septic, neurogenic, and what?
And anaphylaxis.
Anaphylaxis. Great.
Or we're
Now-
talking about distributive shock.
Yes, absolutely. So
No way.
back to the word blood pressure. So if we were trying to like trend whether you're vasally constricted or not, what part of the blood pressure would you look at? You have systolic and diastolic, right?
Yes.
Then you have an equation you can do, which is for MAP,
Yep.
right? And then you have the pulse pressure as well. So which one would tell you that you're vasally constricted? Now you would need multiple blood pressures to look at this, and you would trend it
to know if you were hypertensive or
no, vasally constricted. So let's say you are in hypovolemic shock.
okay.
What tells you about hypovolemic shock?
Your modified shock index, which
Mm.
is your heart rate divided by your systolic.
That's not even right. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Yeah. So that is your modified shock index. I'm looking for pulse pressure.
Okay.
If the pulse pressure is narrowing, you have profound vasoconstriction.
Right.
If you have widening pulse pressure, then you have vasally dilation.
Right.
So there is one condition that you can actually be profoundly vasoconstricted, but the blood pressure gives you the appearance of it widening pulse pressure.
Widening.
Yeah, man. I tell you this, I've been fucking I was all afternoon. I was putting shit together. I go, man, I'm gonna fuck with Jason because he's been gone all day.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He had no prep time, and I love it.
Right.
And I love it.
And,
Let's just say ICP, so we don't run out of time.
okay. Thank you. Yeah.
So if you have an increase in intracranial pressure, you're gonna see widening pulse pressure.
Gotcha.
Now,
So-
would these signs be different on someone who's diabetic?
No. I mean, as far as that stuff wouldn't change.
Okay.
It would not change. But hold on to that thought there because it's pretty interesting here. Because we're going to talk about cardiovascular disease in what we call non-traditional signs and symptoms of a heart attack. The other thing that we do talk about when the people come to class is actually just the mechanics of blood flows through the heart, right? So we have the right atrium, which 3 vessels drain into that area there, which you have the
Inferior
vena cava,
the
superior vena cava, and the
coronary
sinus. Man, that's awesome.
All right.
If only somebody was there with you to finish your sentences on the exam. That'd be
All the
fucking
time.
great. Yeah. All right. So then you go through the tricuspid valve, right?
Yes.
Then what chamber am I in right now?
You're in the right ventricle.
Right ventricle.
Which is going to go to the lungs.
Well, before we do
Through
that, let's talk about the pulmonary semilunar valve.
Semilunar valve.
Pulmonary artery.
Yep.
Then you have the little capillaries, right? Where we're going to have the exchange in the lungs,
Yes.
right?
The alveoli.
Yep.
Okay.
Respiratory circulatory membrane, all the dead space, PEEP stuff. Come to class, we'll tell you about that shit.
Yep.
And then you're gonna go to the left vein, the pulmonary vein.
Pulmonary vein.
Man, you're contagious. I'm almost like
I know.
forgetting shit right here. So pulmonary vein, that's gonna drain into the left atria. Gonna go through the
tricuspid.
Oh,
the
no.
the bicuspid.
Mitral valve or bicuspid valve,
Yep,
right? To
yep.
the left ventricle, and then we're going through the
aortic valve.
aortic semilunar valve. That name is important.
Lunar valve.
And I'm draining into the what?
The aorta.
The aorta. So now this is the interesting part. That's the S1, S2 thing, right? Loved up.
Correct.
Loved up. So when you're doing systole, I'm pumping blood into the aorta. You with me?
Yes.
And then during diastole, with that valve is going to close, right? Which is going to signify the period where the heart's at rest. You with me, right?
Yes.
So that's that S2 heart sound.
Mhm.
And this is what's interesting that happens in that little time frame there.
That's the time when the heart is actually perfused.
Exactly.
Back pressure.
Yeah. So basically, in the fire service, we call it a water hammer, right? You close it, the gate really, and you're going to get a backdraw of water. So that counter pulsation that happens when you close that is what feeds the coronary arteries.
Yes.
So your heart actually gets oxygenated during rest. One of the important things to remember is that when we do CPR on somebody, right, we compress the heart to make the blood flow into the aorta, and then we allow it to recoil to allow that blood to go into the coronary arteries.
Right.
So the recoil is just as important as the squeeze.
Yes.
Make sense? Right with?
Absolutely.
Cool. Any questions about that?
The juice is worth the squeeze.
The juice is worth the squeeze. So, so there would be a whole long lesson here talking about hemodynamics and all the anatomy and stuff, and we would build on that if you were in class. We don't have a whole bunch of time for that.
Right.
So come to
So,
class.
yeah. So I just want to talk about one particular type of shock real quick called cardiogenic Shock.
Got it.
Put a pin on
Good
that.
job.
Good job.
Put a pin on that.
Got it.
We have some autopsy report shit to read real quick.
Oh,
Nope.
Yeah. So, birthday
Nope.
buddy,
Nope.
we had an important death that happened here in Orlando,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
I don't.
holy.
Is it really alleged if
Yeah.
it
I
actually
feel
happened?
like maybe
Like,
everything's alleged.
we know it happened.
Well, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So, America's Dad died.
America's Dad.
Yeah. Full House,
I
dude.
grew up
Bob
watching
Saget.
that show.
me
No
too.
shit.
All of us did.
Like,
Yeah.
like, what
But like,
year-
I was legit a kid then.
yeah, like the
too.
rest of us just.
They were adults.
I was not
Oh.
an adult.
I was a kid. I was a kid.
I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
Okay.
When Full House came out?
Yeah.
No shit. I was. See, you didn't have that channel in the hood,
Everywhere
you know. So,
everywhere you look.
Everywhere you go.
anyways, so Bob Saget dies here in Orlando.
He did.
So, is it like I had no idea that there's a bunch of controversy because we're busy as fuck working. So, like,
Right.
no idea the whole controversy of the Bob Saget, America's Dad, dying here in Orlando.
Yes. So his autopsy report had been released, and there was some interesting information in that.
That's Family
and
Matters.
No,
not
it's not that. That's the black people's Full House for you,
Right.
for you millennials out there.
That's Urkel.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was in
Yeah, that's
Chicago.
family. That's a
And
song for Family Matters.
No, it's
No,
not. That's
no.
Full House.
That's Full House.
Yeah, I'm playing it right here.
Really?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, Patricio. Listen, this is why we don't listen. Watch that shit in the hood. TGIF. That's a Full
All right.
House song.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna take it and shut up.
Okay.
Like now they're holding hands running down the hill. Like,
All right. So Bob Saget.
anyways. So he died. They
Yes.
initially said no foul play, no signs of any trauma. They didn't know what happened to him. They
No shit.
It's a natural
assumed-
cause.
They assumed it was some sort of cardiac event or a
Mhm.
stroke or whatever.
Any history that we know that he have any medical problems?
Not
anything
that
like
they released.
They known drug
Nope.
user. No
Nope.
shit.
And they also said that his toxicology stuff came back with no drugs, no alcohol, no nothing in the system.
No shit.
So fast forward a few weeks and they
Yeah,
released all
autopsies.
these reports, and there is significant damage to his head.
So by significant, you mean what?
There
A lot.
are fractures, is orbital, what's it? This
Orbits.
Orbits?
Yep, those were fractured. He
No
had
shit.
fractures in the back of his skull. He had damage to the back, the right side, and the front of his brain.
Holy shit.
And basically,
Little cool contra coup.
he had such
Do you say that?
what?
No, I'm sorry. I have to stop the show. That was
Oh
the
my
Family
God.
Matters intro.
Yeah, I don't think so. Is
No,
it really?
100%. That is the Family Matters intro. I have the lyrics pulled up because
No shit. They use the
So
same.
they used the same one.
no,
The
no.
same music.
No, whatever happened to predictability, the milkman, the paperboy, even MTV? How do I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. But like,
What's Full House?
That's Full House.
yeah, that's Full House, and that was. But the song that was playing was the one for Family Matters.
No,
I
wasn't.
don't-
No, that's a Full House song. What's a find
you
the
mute
family?
him?
Find the Family Matter
I
intro
will.
there.
I
So
will.
they, like,
Okay.
my man's having a stroke. Like, we're gonna check him signs and symptoms of one.
Do we need to check his blood sugar?
Yeah. So, birthday buddy, like, is there a murder
They were putting
investigation
the sugar
going
in
on
that
right now?
coffee.
No,
There's no
they're
foul play.
still claiming no foul play.
The man's head was a bag of cornflakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
So they're trying to say that it was most probable that he suffered an unwitnessed fall backwards and struck the posterior aspect of his head.
I don't think that fractures your.
How does that fracture your eyeballs?
I have no idea. I mean,
What
I'm
does a
not.
neurosurgeon
I'm not
say about
Quincy,
that?
the medical
Let me find it.
examiner.
I'm back.
Pull
That was a
that,
great show.
pull that out of my ass. Who played Quincy, baby?
An old dude with glasses,
Jesus Christ.
gray hair.
Dr. Quinn.
Quincy, not Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, but who was the Quincy medical examiner? Look that
I
shit
don't
up. That's gonna
remember his
fuck you
name.
up.
Here it is. Some neurosurgeons
This is good.
said that
This
it
is
would
good.
be unusual
Look it up.
for a typical fall to cause Mr. Saget's set of fractures to the back, the right side, and the front of his skull.
You can't fall that many
Those-
ways.
Right. Those
Once.
doctors said that the injuries appeared more reminiscent of ones suffered by people who fall from a considerable height or get thrown from a seat in a car crash.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
So-
foul play at the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah,
The
like I mean,
autopsy, though, found no injuries to other parts of his body. as would be expected in a lengthier fall. The medical examiner officially ruled the death as accidental.
God damn, man, that is some strange shit. This is on witness, right?
Unwitnessed.
On witness,
last
man was
time-
found dead in a room.
The last
Head
time he
bashing.
was on, like, recorded as using his key card to enter his room was at 2:17 a.m. He was supposed to leave at 9 a.m. He didn't. So by like mid-afternoon, I guess his family hadn't heard from him and he didn't get on his flight or whatever it was. And they called the hotel and they sent security up to check on him. And everything was still out. And they found him laying in the bed with his right arm down and his left arm over his chest.
I love the detail you put into your research.
I know, isn't it
buddy.
amazing?
I love it. And I'm going to say that the state of his butthole, we are not clear yet.
We're not clear.
There's not information non-released.
And I don't know that we will, because now, as we were making light of the story, his family filed a lawsuit to block the release of any more records related to his death.
That is a public record thing, ain't it?
The judge actually granted that this afternoon.
Yeah.
No shit, huh?
Yeah, they officially blocked.
Yeah.
Cannot release anything.
So the man, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, am I the only person in this room that thinks that the man didn't get killed?
Well,
look, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
Something was going on with him. So I had this clip from the last interview that he did. He was actually being interviewed by the Monsters of the Morning here at Orlando. And when I listened to it live, and I was like, I listened to it and I heard them talking to somebody. I didn't know who they were.
You didn't recognize it was Bob Saget?
Not at all.
Yeah, they talked to him for like 3-4 days straight. That
yeah,
week.
Right. And I did not understand. I was like, I didn't know he sounded like that. So I want to play really quick, just a little.
Wait, I have a question before you play it.
Okay.
Have you watched any of the Fuller House or any of that has had him in it recently? Because he is significantly different now than he was as America's Dad.
Have you heard the interview?
No.
Okay, so neither of you have heard it. So
Right.
you hear it for the first time, and you tell me what you think.
If they have nothing, they're mad because they have nothing. I mean, people are sick, So I've been just trying to bring whatever positive energy I can. It sounds so annoying to people that I hate analyzing.
He sounds fucked up.
He does sound fucked up.
Okay. Now this also has video, so there's absolutely no trauma to him. You can see him; he looks perfectly fine. But you can hear it in his voice, like there's something going on, right? Has
Russ and them talked said anything?
Oh my god,
they've been on it, right?
Immediately after that.
What are they saying? What do they think?
Well, no, the Monday after, and here was the thing, like leading up to that interview, he had done a show with Tom and Dan as well, and this is a lot of things that it makes it even scarier, because he had a podcast with his wife, and just that late last year, he said, "Oh, you better do this before you find me dead in my bed." They were talking about movies for some odd reason. And he had mentioned about being dead in his bed when he was on the Monsters. I mean, not on the Monsters, on Tom and Dan. He had mentioned also as well that, he's dealing with COVID. It doesn't matter if they'll put him dead on the stage, if anything. It sounded like he was just getting pushed and pushed more and more
to
just perform.
That's what I was going to say. So that
sounds like exhaustion, though. That sounds neuro.
But he had been hospitalized for COVID like a week and a half before that interview happened.
I mean, listen, man.
I'm not saying
I'm just saying the man's got severe trauma to his head.
So listen, I found more specifics. One, autopsy report now shows the official cause of death as blunt head trauma.
Shit.
Okay. Multiple fractures to the skull and hemorrhaging near the brain. His injuries included, but were not limited to, an abrasion on the back of his scalp, subgaleal hemorrhaging under the back of his scalp, a linear fracture to the base of his skull.
Damn.
Comminuted fractures on the roofs of the orbits involving the bilateral and frontal bone.
Jeez,
and
man.
a subdural hematoma with additional hemorrhaging. His death was ruled an accident.
What type of LaFour fracture that you just described there, Jason?
Number 3.
Man, that was a good guess. Listen though, would you give that patient succinylcholine?
No.
Are you asking or telling?
I mean, if I had to intubate them,
Like I wouldn't give him a paralytic. In theory, like on the exam, you probably have a hard time sealing your mask and bagging that guy. True,
Right.
4-3 fractures. So
Right.
this is a learning podcast today.
So
Yes,
It is.
We're
So
learning.
you would probably
Hold on, he
withhold
has
the
his hand up.
paralytic. Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry to
Go ahead.
interrupt, but I see Kelly's comment saying sounds fishy.
It's very.
Here's the one thing. In any big crime
I see that.
incident or any just weird death, I'll put it like that. Weird
Yeah.
death, suspicious death. Video comes out all the time. Now, mind you, I used to work at the Ritz-Carlton.
Okay.
I worked at the JW, and that place has cameras
Everywhere.
up the butthole. All right.
About that.
Now, mind you, there are cameras on every floor. Now, mind you, they did say that his key card went off at a certain time, and entering his room.
But they haven't said anything about the camera.
Yes, because here's the thing: when it comes to subpoenaing,
Subpoenaing?
Subpoenaing?
so as you're issuing a subpoena,
Have some more of the sacrament.
issuing a
Fingers
subpoena,
around this thing
issuing a
right
subpoena for those records,
here.
the Ritz-Carlton doesn't have to comply unless there is a subpoena.
Right.
But now, mind you, there is no foul play, meaning that there's no bringing of a criminal investigation,
Mhm.
meaning that a judge is not going to. There's no open case right now to
Right.
issue
Because
a
it's
subpoena
ruled an accident.
because it was ruled an accident.
I don't
Because
know
the,
how you
the
can.
room wasn't disturbed. There was no signs of a fight. There was everything was in order. His
There's
clothes
no
were
way.
hung up in the
According
closet.
according to who?
Yeah, according to security
Exactly.
guards
According
and
to-
hotel staff.
Was Rob
Exactly.
involved in this case?
Okay,
He's a bad cop.
we cannot talk about
I
that.
don't know. He'd have to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, Rob's a bad cop.
Now, mind
so-
you, you have 60 days. I believe it's 60 days to produce video. I mean, to hold the record, and until you guys delete it.
And see, I don't feel like
That
we're ever
video's
going
gone.
to see the video. One,
Yeah.
it's probably gone. But
that shit is
two,
gone.
I think that given the fact that the family has filed this lawsuit to keep anything else from being released, is that
Why would you
somewhere
not want to
somebody,
know?
likely his wife, knows the truth. She knows what he was doing.
I mean, we're a
Why-
legend.
how
We don't
else
know.
Would you? Yes, if he was doing something,
Yeah.
she knows more than we do.
Hmm.
Or
Maybe
she
she
has
had.
a feeling, or she whatever.
Maybe she's the one that hired the person to do it.
right. I'm saying, me personally,
We watch a lot
I
of
can't
Dateline.
believe. I can't believe
As
a
a
judge
wife,
would be okay with that.
I
You
am
know what?
not
It's
gonna
fine.
sue.
We're not gonna.
I'm not suing anybody.
We're not gonna
to stop.
investigate.
What's the guy's name that I like? Mr. Makowitz from Dateline. He needs to show up here.
Right? Like, I'm not gonna sue anybody to stop releasing stuff. I'm gonna sue you for not finding out what the fuck happened.
Yeah,
You better give me some answers.
goddamn right.
And
I wish a
telling me that
motherfucker
that's
would.
an accident, and telling me that his head was that fucked up.
Yeah.
It was an accident.
That's some
No.
freaking insanity, man. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I know we're talking about heart disease, but the man's head was fucked up,
Yeah.
Mush.
and we
that's
don't have
way-
a
His head
fucking.
was mush.
That's
Yeah.
a lot
We
of
don't-
damage.
How do you make it to your bed?
You don't.
Right.
Regardless,
You're
how do
already
you?
Yeah.
Right? Like somebody put you there. If that's the
Now,
case.
would any type of medication, like what kind of medication do you receive after COVID? Like, since he was hospitalized,
None.
none.
They said in one of
I mean,
the,
Patricia,
You
you,
may get some steroids, but you're not getting discharged.
No.
Really.
Patricia, you're an epileptic,
Yes.
so it'd be probably safe to assume that at some point in your adult life, you fell down and had a seizure.
Yes.
Did you fucking ever have a fractured skull like that?
No.
Were your
Yeah.
eye sockets broken?
No. I just bit my tongue like crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, listen, man.
And that's falling like straight up without catching yourself
Yeah.
at all
Yeah.
to the ground.
Yeah. Like, I mean, dude, that's my thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, this dude's found in his bed. You said he's in his bed
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right
with
arm
skull
down,
with skull fractures.
front and back and the side.
Like, let's say the skull fractures didn't happen right there in the hotel room. They happened somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
the man was brought in and put on his bed.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's a goddamn murder scene to me.
Who do
Yep.
we know at the coroner's office?
You know, like,
Right.
hey, man, like, is Dr. G still working?
Not,
Not
here.
there. No.
No, because
Mm-mm.
shit, because she would have
She-
definitely not called this
Oh,
shit an
yeah.
accident.
No way.
No.
Who is the dude that's like the part-time
She-
coroner they found?
Maybe they were. Maybe he was paid to do that. Maybe allegedly.
Well,
You guys say allegedly. I don't know.
Maybe he
I don't.
was
Yeah,
told-
I don't want to add to the speculation, but here's the thing. I have a friend of mine who still works at said hotel. And
Oh, you got to find out.
once I
Well,
found out what had happened, because I didn't find out
Let's
until,
get
like, that,
get him on the line right now.
that-
Yeah,
Now-
exclusive.
Now
Here at the rescue company
Well, no,
one.
here she said that the moment that they had found the body, it was like Fort Knox at that hotel.
I'm sure she got
was
locked down.
There was
Dead
no,
white man.
no internet.
I'm dialing right now.
How long have you had that sound effect? I've been waiting to use it.
No,
Long time.
from the beginning.
You know, no, from a criminal standpoint, I once that happened with the family not wanting to release the medical report, I'm like, there's something else
There's
going on.
more
Has
to the
Aaron
story.
talked about this? Have you and Aaron
We haven't talked about it on the show, but we talked about it off air.
What does Aaron think?
Aaron feels that because
It's the wife.
Huh?
It's the wife.
No, we're not. I don't think she was suspecting foul play. She was suspecting the fact that he might have been under certain medication that after a certain injury, he still went into bed.
Hey, man,
No.
listen,
The only
man.
So-
signs of
You talking
medication
about shit like going through a windshield and still like may not have
Well-
those injuries.
or like
Well,
a
Carlos,
three-story fall.
you played football.
is one of
Absolutely.
You still play football.
Absolutely.
All right, now mind you, after concussion, what's the one thing they recommend you not to do?
Not to go back and play because you have a increase. So we
This
talked
is
about this last
skull
week.
Fractures,
Yeah.
though. Like,
Yeah, this is
enough
fracture,
blunt
brother. Like,
force
this-
This
trauma
isn't just
to break your skull bones.
But I'm
in,
saying
like,
I'm just now mind you,
4 or
I am
5
not a
different
I am not a
places.
medical expert. That's why I'm here. I want to find out.
I-
Is there a medication or
No.
medications, a mixture of medications that would give someone like not even feel that and just
No.
Yeah, you'd be on ketamine and that could fracture your skull
Well,
and you not
yeah,
feel that shit.
yeah,
but you're
but-
not gonna get your ass back in bed.
the
No.
only
No.
You're not-
medications that were detected in his system
Allegedly.
were,
According to this,
according to this article,
mhm.
were
Klonopin.
Klonopin, which is used for seizures or panic attacks, which
Yeah.
Which
is
he-
very
he-
common amongst people.
Yeah,
Yep.
he
Of
suffered from
his-
anxiety,
Yes.
Yep.
And trazodone, which is an antidepressant.
which he
or
dealt
you can
with a
use
lot
it for
with.
sleep.
Yeah.
So there's this. I don't know anything about this if it's true or not, but there was supposedly a second autopsy that was done, and basically they're saying that it was trauma related to the use of a baseball bat
Oh,
Yeah.
or
You're welcome.
from falling 20 to 30 feet.
Yes,
Yeah.
I read that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
That
what
is
his
more
trauma
likely.
equals. to.
Exactly. Right.
But then the other part of that was that there
There's
was
no
no
other injuries,
on his
only
entire
his
body.
head.
Well,
Where did the accident happen? If it's accidental, where did the accident
well,
happen?
here's the
And
thing.
how was it just his head?
Yes.
He didn't fall and do that.
The guy was coming from Jacksonville from the Saturday show to the hotel. And I want to go back to something real quick in regards to the way he was talking and all the medication that you were saying right there. You heard the live interviews over the radio, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That was like at what, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah,
Well,
so he could have been like
well,
fucked up from the night before.
Well,
this
hold on.
is-
And
this is
doing
where
us
we're going.
shit.
This is where-
I'll
see
give
where
you
we're going?
that.
You see where
Well,
we're going?
it was 7 or 8 here,
Exactly.
but it was like 2 a.m. where he was.
exactly. So like, what? How the hell are you up at that hour?
Well, I mean, he
What do
was,
you mean?
he was just doing it for the interview.
I was
would
eating
assume.
ass around 2 o'clock in the morning today. I mean,
That's a true story.
yeah, that happened.
I mean, allegedly, he was coming back from a nearby club
Mm-hmm.
that he left at 2 a.m. And that's why he got it. He was
was-
within walking distance and went back to his room, and his key card swiped at 2:17.
Man,
club.
I say-
the JW. I mean,
Well, I don't know the answer to that, but
yeah,
that's
I
what
can't think of
somebody
anything that's
somewhere
out that way.
no.
No.
Did he walk to it or
Like,
Listen.
there's nothing there. It's several
Hey.
minutes.
Maybe he got an Uber.
yeah, right.
Oh,
Exactly.
he could have had an Uber. Hey, listen, the mystery continues.
Yes.
I don't think we can solve this crime in one night.
I really wish we could, though.
Yeah, well, listen, this is
We
Well,
have
not
resources.
Dateline.
We have resources.
Listen, we have
I mean,
a
this
lot
is
to
in our
cover.
backyard.
I know.
well,
We
Fine.
still have to cover.
I want to
little
officially announce that we are on the case.
All right.
Yes.
As the Rotor Turn has taken on the case pro bono, and we will be solving this crime right here.
To the mystery machine.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I don't want to get served with papers from his.
Well, they can serve the fuck out of me. I own an English bulldog.
I
They can
got,
have-
I got a couple of attorneys. I
and
can
a bunch
help
of bad debt. And I got some alimony they can take off too if they want. That's,
You can have it.
yeah. Like, what y'all gonna sue me for? That woman took everything I had. So allegedly. So,
Uh,
Jason,
yes.
World Hippo Day.
World Hippo Day, man.
Oh,
So they
yeah.
actually celebrate you,
Yes.
you know,
It was
throughout
Happy
the world.
Hippo Day.
Happy Hippo Day.
It's funny as shit. Like people thought that like he didn't know we called him the hippo when he was with the water egress the other day. They go like, "Do you know they call you the hippo?" I'm like, "Yeah."
I introduced myself that way. I said that. I
You
told
know.
him I was like,
In respect
Hippo.
to you for our softball team, I'm going to put Coach Hippo on the back of his shirt.
Yeah, as it should, as it should. Like I'm glad I don't have to like give these orders.
Yeah.
They get done automatically.
It happens.
We
It
have
happens.
a softball team here at the Rescue Company One. It's
Yes,
a
we
girls
do.
softball team. We are currently recruiting anybody that has fast
Legs.
Like-
girls.
Yes.
Fast girls.
Fast.
Yeah.
Between
Well,
the ages
I
of 9 and
mean,
11.
Can you please clarify that?
Yeah, girls that can run fast.
There you go.
Yeah, not anything else. Preferably Dominican or African American. You know, any type
I
of
didn't mean
ethnicity
that much.
that we can
Just
find
girls
out
that
there.
can run fast.
Yeah. If
well,
you,
I mean, you got to hit the ball too, because
I'll take
you have to hit the ball.
I'll take a good you imagine like a good Panamanian Dominican little girl out there.
You're
We'd
trying to be like Mr. Burns. That's
we'd be
episode.
fucking some shit up.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, trophies. You know, we'd be in that. Is there girls like Little League World Series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we're fucking going.
Yeah.
Softball.
How do I buy that shit? Like we're
Yeah.
hey, you imagine if we make
Oh,
that shit?
man, that would be great.
Hey, goddamn right, it would be awesome. Like
Can you imagine?
it'd be the last time we'll be allowed to sponsor a team,
Yeah.
but we'd be making, like, who is the guy painted in latex in the stands? Like, sir, you got to leave. Like that's fucking crazy.
No, you see that team? That's my team.
Yeah, that's my
I'm
team.
not going
I'm an
anywhere.
owner.
Yeah,
I am an owner. Oh man. So allegedly we do have a girl softball team. We're gonna kick some ass. I am calling my shot right now. Championships coming our way.
I can't wait.
Absolutely. Little league. Where do they hold that at?
Well, I think it.
So
depends
somewhere in
on
middle
who's-
nowhere in Nebraska.
Yeah,
Seattle.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seattle. Yeah, I guess they would need a liberal city for that bad boy. Huh? Yeah, Nebraska will not be it.
No.
University of Connecticut.
Yeah, box ball.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's a good story for another time. But me and Trish made the coolest dude eating breakfast the other day.
Oh, that was fun.
Who loves? What type of person loves Trish?
Old guys.
Old dudes.
Oh.
Dirty old men.
I'll leave it at that. Leave it at that.
Listen, allegedly, one of the umpires we may or may not get for softball games is going to love her.
Oh,
Like he hates everybody except me.
oh yeah.
He's
baby.
gonna love her.
Yeah.
You know what you got to do? Ass and titties at these games. I don't want that man making a bad call.
That's right.
I want his timing off.
I'm gonna put her I'm gonna put her right
I
there
want his
behind.
timing off. So, listen, one of the things I've noticed the last couple of classes, people have a hard time treating bradycardia.
Oh.
Or even like understanding that shit, like understanding the cardiogenic shock you're in. So, the one of the trickiest, I don't think it's tricky, but like fucks people up question. You get this bradycardic like strip that shows you, and then all is asking you, what kind of shock is this in? So if you see bradycardia, you would automatically, and it pops in the top of your head, is cardiogenic shock,
Right. Yeah.
right? So heart rate less than 50,
Yeah.
cardiogenic shock, bradycardia, hypotensive. Cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this: is that compensated or decompensated shock?
But it's gonna depend on what is the blood pressure and if they're
Oh, that's a magic question, and that's the thing a lot of people don't understand, Jason.
Mhm.
What a lot of people don't understand is there's a cardiogenic shock is always hypotensive.
mm-hmm.
That's what makes it the definition of cardiogenic shock, right? You
Right.
got a low blood pressure.
Yeah.
By the way, you like how we just changed topics just like that?
Boom.
Talking about ass and titties
Yep.
to cardiogenic shock, just like that, huh?
That's the stuff
That's it.
Miss Jody loves.
Yeah. So check
What,
this shit
ass
out.
and titties or the?
Oh, I think she's an ass and
Probably
titty
both.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Oh
of it.
yeah.
I think
All
we
of
all.
the
You know
above.
something?
Yeah, we all.
I wonder, like, I would like to have Miss Jody on. I've said this a few times,
Absolutely.
but we need to have her on. And basically, I want to know what, like, I want to have her on after we go to the strip club with Trish
and she can vouch for you.
and Miss Touchy does her thing
Yeah.
while we're there. And then I
don't know
want to
what you're talking
see,
about.
if I'm making shit up
Right.
with
She's
an outside witness.
Totally making it.
This woman's a saint and she will speak the truth on the show.
She
probably will.
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
So, Jason,
And
Yes.
you'll be an official,
cardiogenic shock is always
I'll be in a
hypotensive.
what?
Okay.
official oil checker.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
well,
I ask you the question.
the
When
question?
when would you classify cardiogenic shock as decompensated? If it's always hypotensive, you
If
would
it's shock.
say
That it's uncompensated.
no, sir. Blood pressure is not the definition of uncompensated versus decompensated shock and cardiogenic shock
All right.
because the blood pressure is always low.
what about SpO2?
You know,
It's
babe,
not always low in bradycardia.
hold on to that. It's not. You're not off.
Okay.
You know. Now the what answer I'm looking for.
It's not always low in bradycardia, but when it is low in bradycardia, then it's
So let's say
decompensated.
my heart rate's 42
Yes.
and my blood pressure is 100/70.
Okay.
Is that cardiogenic shock?
I would have to calculate it. 270 divided by 90. So
Hey, Lance, hold on.
90.
I'm talking about you.
no.
Well, listen, we're talking about
No.
fucking Lance Armstrong sitting there with his
Yeah,
fucking,
Then
great.
no, I
No,
would
it's not.
No.
Symptomatic.
Well, like here we go. Every time I'm talking about boxing, some white man talks about Rocky Marciano. Like,
coming to America.
yeah. Like, listen, well, like,
Like if you're so here's the thing, like lots of people can have heart rates that are low and they do just fine with heart rates that are low. Like I've seen them in the high 30s, 40s, their blood pressure's fine, they're not symptomatic. What are you gonna do? They're
not
fine.
a fucking thing.
Not a thing.
What can a fat woman do for me?
Not a
Not
goddamn
Not a
thing.
goddamn thing.
So,
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like it depends on, I would say, the other stuff that goes along with it. Like if they're symptomatic with something, because if they just have a low heart rate and a low blood pressure, that doesn't mean they're in shock.
I like the way you're talking, baby. I like the way you're talking. You're still in the shock condition, though. I'm gonna tell you this: it's not shock in that situation,
That's what I'm saying.
but it's still a heart problem, isn't it?
Maybe, maybe not.
I don't. Yeah, like it's hard to say because
Like, what if
like you said. Well, you said
It
Lance
depends.
Armstrong. If
Lance,
that's,
but see,
it
like
depends on if
now,
you're
check this
an-
shit out, though. Lance Armstrong ain't calling 911.
No,
He ain't checking himself into the hospital. So we ain't talking about the healthy person. We're talking about someone got this person to the hospital, or we're in phase of them. Like, so what I'm saying is that your example, like, it depends on the symptom. We're not going to treat asymptomatic
No.
bradycardia.
No.
Absolutely.
But would it also depend on whatever the person put into their body, whether it's a chemical imbalance?
Well, I don't know. Like, what chemical imbalance would give you a
Cocaine.
low heart rate? Yeah, would give you a high heart rate.
High.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Right.
low heart rate. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Not cocaine.
so basically what I'm telling you here is, Jason, is that let's say like grandpa has a bad heart, congestive heart failure, right? So it starts to fail.
Mhm.
Eventually that heart failure will
Where?
become cardiogenic shock.
Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
And the definition of that, in theory, you are compensated with cardiogenic shock when you're hypotensive and your heart rate is greater than 80 beats per minute.
for CHF, yes. Okay.
Or yeah.
Yes.
So if
Yes.
but I'm saying if you got cardiogenic shock, the minute your heart rate starts to creep down below 80 beats per minute,
Yes.
now you're considered to be decompensated.
Gotcha.
That's the magic number.
Gotcha.
And the reason we bring that up is there's a fancy question that shows up there. We're talking about you're pacing a patient with a known cardiac history. They don't tell you it's congestive heart failure or anything, but they're giving you this bradycardia and they're giving you hypotension and they're asking you to pace that patient.
Oh, and you have to decide where you're starting.
Yes, ma'am. You absolutely do. So you got to decide whether you're sitting there. What's the range when we're pacing between 60 and 80
60
beats?
and
per
80.
minute,
Yep.
right.
And
So
for CHF patients, you should start at 80.
yes, ma'am. I love you. You're so
Gotcha.
beautiful and smart. Yeah, absolutely. You
Took
should
me a
pace it
second
at
to
the
figure out where I was
highest.
going with that.
Yeah, you should pace it at the highest range. Now,
But why
Let's-
why would the range not be higher?
well, like,
Because
Well, you start at that.
well, we're saying 80, right? We're going with the ranges in the
Yeah,
book.
okay.
So, we're not just randomly making numbers up,
40.
75.
75.
You know what I mean?
Apple.
Bingo. Good meat. So listen, you're not just
Tacos.
making random numbers up. But what about this? Let's say I shoot a 12 lead on that Brady patient and I got a STEMI. Where should you pace that patient at now?
if,
So you
I-
got a
I would-
STEMI, bradycardia,
Is there a cricket button?
hypotensive.
do what?
Is there a cricket button?
So
It's funny as shit. While he's thinking about that, I used to allegedly worked at this record store here in Orlando.
Peaches?
Well, we're not saying that that's the record store,
Was there another record store?
but there was a button in the back that there's a
Was
button.
there?
I don't know. I don't want the Peaches people to sue me.
I don't think they're around anymore.
I don't know. They may still be around. They just call it something else now.
Apples.
Apples. Yeah. No, those people have money. Yeah, they go sue us.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. What the fuck are you? But you should come back. Isn't your aren't you on your Apple's computer there? So, but they had a button in the back every time, somebody non-white came in the store. Oh yeah, allegedly.
The
This is what I hear.
The
Allegedly,
watch them button.
the smuggy button is what they used to call it. Right there. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Like hurry up and buy.
Yeah, whoop whoop whoop. Hey, you boys need some help? I would say I would hear that sound every time I came in the store. Allegedly. Jason, so what would you pace that guy at?
So I would want to start low just because I don't want to put any more demand on the heart.
That's the exact word, Jason. Like demand increases oxygen demands. If you increase the demands by speeding up the heart rate, you're gonna make the damage worse.
Yes.
Yep.
So pace them at the lowest possible range to get the desired blood pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot into this cardiac stuff and cardiogenic shock. People should come to class and kind of learn.
Yeah.
Do you remember the acronym to treat bradycardia? And that's the last thing I'll say for free. Fuckers, y'all may come pay me some money.
No, I don't. I don't remember the one.
So we use the acronym in class to treat to teach people bradycardia. So all trained dogs eat IMS dog food. You trying to show me something, Patricia? Oh,
time frame.
what time we at?
1:10.
7:40.
Oh shit.
Oh, we
man.
got 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Okay.
All trained
Trained dogs
IMS
eat
dog food.
IMS dog food. So atropine, transcutaneous spacing, dopamine. A lot of people hate the dopamine word, but that motherfucker shows up on the test. Y'all better not hate on the motherfucker because
So
it still shows up.
Never mind.
Epidrip.
Yep.
And then the last thing is isoproterenol. We were talking about Trish earlier. Like we'd be talking about something and Trish would go like, so platypuses.
So right.
Yeah. Are
So when are they gonna update the test?
As far as what,
not
baby?
necessarily include dopamine.
I
That
don't know. I don't
nobody
think
really likes to use.
I think people hate on the dopamine shit, but
I
like,
have
I mean,
not heard one single doctor be like, you know what we should use right now? Dopamine.
you know that FCCA class, which is I forget what that shit stands for. It's not Future Farmers of America.
It's not.
It's something else. It's like fundamentals of critical care class has some interesting shit. Also, the Nancy Carolyn has some interesting shit where it talks about places where dopamine is useful. You know, one of those things is anytime you have a low heart rate and you're normal tensive. So you basically, when would you do that shit? You know, like, well, they give you examples.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have cold cardiogenic shock, where your patient is normal tensive, not cardiogenic, sorry, septic shock.
Okay.
So cold septic shock, normal tensive, you would expect the heart rate to be low to prevent the blood pressure from dropping. You'll use a dopamine. Everything else you can use norepi as long as your heart rate is greater than 60 beats per minute. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, babe, here's the question: like, when would you use epi versus norepinephrine? Because you're you should sell norepinephrine. If the norepi people are listening, you guys should call my wife because she sells the fuck out of your shit, even on the wrong occasion. Even when she's wrong, she sells the shit out of it, and she's so confident that it's right.
Well, it works really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
why I
when would you use epi versus norepinephrine? Give me an example.
I don't know. I can't think about that right now.
Someone reacting to a allergic reaction.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, epinephrine anaphylaxis. See, fucking Patricio's on the shit. Patricio wouldn't kill a motherfucker, but medical professionals do all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
I would not use Levo over Epi for an allergic reaction.
Well, this is the thing, guys. Like, norepinephrine works on what part? I told you at the beginning, and I knew that at some point me and Trish would have this conversation. So if I'm taking blood pressure, you're dealing with blood pressure, right? Does norepinephrine affect your cardiac output? Any of the components of cardiac output?
No.
The answer is no. Doesn't affect your heart rate, right?
No.
It's not going to affect your stroke volume, is it?
No.
No. So which part of the is systemic vascular resistance? In the cardiogenic shock patient, if your MAP is greater than 60, do you need norepinephrine?
No.
Absolutely not, because you already have increased systemic vascular, so you're profoundly vasoconstricted.
Yeah.
What would the right drug be on that patient?
The dopamine?
Not dopamine.
No.
Dobutamine. As long as what? The heart rate is greater than 60 beats per minute. Right? If your heart rate isn't there, then we're gonna have to pick something that's gonna get the heart rate up.
Right.
Which is gonna be what?
Epi.
Epi. If your epi is gone, then you're taking dopamine.
Gotcha.
Hey, it's like we cannot be biased with medications when we
Well-
run a company that teaches people.
You know, with I don't know if you guys have shortages in drugs like we do, but every month,
Yes,
there's
everywhere has those.
is
Yeah.
the same thing. Like I don't know if you
I don't know
prioritize
if it's the
hospitals
same.
or
I don't know if it's the same drugs, but every place that I've ever worked has
It's-
always had
and it's
med
the
shortage.
dumbest thing. Like right now, Epi, you get 1 milligram in 1 milliliter because the 1 milligram in 10 milliliters
Mhm.
is not available
Yeah, you know why that is though, right?
No.
because they ran out of water.
No, sir. no.
Is it
Patricia.
because all these companies are working to produce COVID vaccines?
Negative. See, that's the conspiracy thing of it.
Yeah.
We changed the terminology in that shit. Remember
Yeah.
the 1 milligram? It used to be the 1 milligram.
It
1
is
in
interesting
10,000.
to listen to people
Yeah.
talk about that and how they're gonna dose it, etc.
Well, I don't even know what I just said, but yes,
Whatever.
follow your local protocols on that
Yeah,
one.
well, yeah, right.
I'm saying
Exactly.
it's interesting to listen to whatever. Doesn't
Hey,
matter.
but what I'm saying is that a lot of that terminology that was written on the boxes, basically that is running out now. Like you got to start producing where it says 1 milligram in 10 milliliters, and the 1 milligram in 1 to 10,000 terminology is written on all these code epi boxes.
Right.
That's got to go away. So we were basically under the grace period where it's running out. Now they're creating new meds.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people like to blame the shit on the COVID and all this stuff. And like, listen, spam. What the fuck happened with spam? It was gone during the COVID.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. We found it.
Well, like we had to call a man in to call it. I have a spam man.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. You know,
I
spam.
have a man that goes out and finds toilet paper and spam. We were trading that for pool time. We were almost at zombie fucking apocalypse shit. Like this man, we'll call him Ken. And like he would like basically his pool was closed at his complex. So he was like, hey man, can I come hang out at y'all's pool?
Yeah.
And you think man's gonna come like just once, but
Yeah.
no, every day he was there. But he showed up with spam and toilet paper, so I was pretty happy. You don't know how much you miss spam till you can't find it.
No, you're right.
Have you ever had a spam sandwich?
Man, I grew
yeah.
up in Pine Hills, man.
Oh.
Yeah,
Man,
Dude,
that's Sunday. That's a Sunday meal right there, buddy.
love
have you
it.
ever had a spam cookie?
I have not.
No.
You fry that.
No.
You cut it in half.
Mm-mm.
You fry it. You put it between 2 cookie doughs.
No.
You put it in the oven. Tell you what, it'll change your life.
Why'd you just ruin the cookie dough? You
Well,
ruined it two
no,
ways. You put it
and-
with spam and you put it in the oven.
And for American Heart Month,
You should
That's
have
very good.
3 of those
Yeah,
every night
that's
before
pretty good.
bed.
I think
scary.
every class that the shock discussion gets pretty fucking good. Like we get into the meds and the right time to use different pressors and the stuff. We really are students of the game. We learn new shit all the time when we're in these classes. We study up going into them. You think you got it down, and then man, some dude,
I don't
some dude or some lady
shit.
shows up with like some information. You go, motherfucker, man, I'm
Yeah.
a murderer. I never even knew
Right.
that shit.
Well, and the best part about people coming to these classes, and I'm just as guilty of it. I love learning more stuff. Is the fact that you're taught a certain thing from the very beginning. You're taught a certain thing a certain way, and you don't want to deviate from that. And you're scared. You're like your whole life. You're scared to deviate from exactly what you were told to do. And
Yeah,
now we're
interesting.
realizing that. Oh well, you can deviate.
That was bad. We shouldn't do that anymore.
Hey,
well,
Hey, birthday buddy. As a matter of fact, we do need to write that down so we can remember. I want to talk about that, Jason. I want to have like a show on the fact that why are certain things still like old protocols when we know that things are better. There's new technology out there.
Exactly what I
There's
was
new
talking
thing that we
about.
want to know. You know
It
what I
has
mean?
to do with dopamine.
Yeah, I do. Like, listen, dopamine people, I don't have anything against you. If you would like to sue my wife, her name is
I've
Trisha.
got
Ray.
nothing.
Don't
Look,
dopamine shame the people.
Yeah. So, listen.
You know
So,
the last time I hung a dopamine drip?
hey, I know. Hey, listen, I get
Me
it.
neither.
I get it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of there's a lot of reasons why certain things are written a certain way, and like people don't bother like to explain that to you.
Right.
As a nurse, as a paramedic, doctors would just say, "Hey, fucking do this shit because this is what I like." And the reality is that there's a medical reason why they're doing that.
Usually.
Yeah, you would hope.
I do hope.
You would hope.
Yeah.
Listen,
well,
we're running out of time.
yes,
There's one
we are.
thing I do want to talk about before we close the show. Again, switching the topic on you. By the way, if you want to know some more about some cardiac shit, we're good at this. Come here, and
Absolutely.
we'll get
April
you.
25th through the 30th,
We'll get you through your test. So my best friend
including shock.
started this company with me. You guys have seen him on the show before, so a few times, twice maybe. Has he been on twice? 2 times, right?
At least.
Yeah. I was
Couple
just,
times.
Josh Renata. Everybody knows what we're talking about
We
here.
love you, Josh.
Yep.
I love that man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's my best friend. Like, I mean, absolutely gone through some tough shit with him. Like the last 4 years have been hell. He lost his job. Y'all look, you can Google the shit why the man lost his job and shit. I'm not gonna say it on the show or any of that stuff, but he was reinstated to the fire department long enough to be able to put his paperwork in for a disability pension. And he is mentally ill. We've said this on the show a bunch of times.
Yeah.
We talk about PTSD and stuff like that, and we talk about the things that affect. And the man is truly not the same. The job took
Not
away.
even close.
The job took away a lot from his mind.
Yeah.
And the problem is, and this is kind of like a teaser for next week. So next week's show is about a EMS worker that now wants to be a pilot, but he is PTSD retired. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the question is it can he be a pilot and do the job if he suffers from PTSD, the diagnosis? So we got some good topics on that. But the thing is that he went to his and I know that he probably gonna be pissed with me, but he's been pissed at me before. So but there's some shit that's on my chest, and I can't die and not ever say this to people. Like, the scars that you have in your brain don't show, right? So you appear to be perfectly healthy, but the reality is that you're fucking not. You're sick as fuck. And you can't get out of your house. You don't know what it is to get this man out of his house sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I
And
do.
then
I wish all the time that we could get him to come out.
and then he goes to his thing yesterday, which he was granted his disability pension by the city of Orlando.
Good.
I appreciate it.
Good.
That his services were they recognized that the man gave 10 plus years of his life to the fire department and gave it all he had.
Mm-hmm.
He went hard. He went hard to the paint, as Justin would say. and he gave it his all. And most of the pension board recognized that, except for one guy. The most, and I won't say the man's name, the Ron's Urkel, and on the thing, but he can call me if he got a problem with me saying this shit or not. But he's the only, like, people like Josh's wife went with him, and the city didn't fight it. They basically had nothing to say.
Right.
The most of the pension board had nothing to say. One guy had questions about his PTSD. One guy had questions. One guy has so there's nothing you can do. Brought up him being here at the company and doing shit, with me and stuff like that. Has no idea the amount of stuff that I had to like what I had to do to get this guy out of his house.
Right.
What I had to do to get this guy to go to Texas. What I had to do to get this guy places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had no fucking clue. All you see is a happy guy on Facebook.
Right.
You know that I would have to sit there and fucking coach him up to tell him to do that. Hey man, please do this thing. Show what we're doing in class. Hello. That he would do all that shit. You don't know what it took out of that man's life. Like, I mean, I almost lost my best friend because of this company with his mental illness. Yeah. And for that asshole to bring that shit up during the thing, I am pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Listen, motherfucker, he's sick as fuck. And then I don't know what you need for him to prove. What you would kill himself to fucking prove it?
But they wouldn't.
Is that what he fucking wants?
No,
I don't fucking know.
He wouldn't care.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part is that people in that position, they don't care no matter what, nothing is going to make them happy. The only thing that's making them happy is to push and push and push. And just because somebody takes a picture or they seem happy for 5 minutes does not take away all of the pain that they're living with the 98% of the rest of their life, and that's not fair to judge somebody that way at all.
I lived this with him for the last 4 years. And you don't know how bad it is to have started this. Like I've always said it, we started this thing to hang out with each other. You know what I'm saying? We started this company to go out and do this thing. And man, listen, for the sake of time, I won't get into it. But you know how hard it is to be gone teaching this class, being out there and not have him right next to me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this today. We had an airing of grievances here at the company. and you know how hard it is for me to have to look at you or one of the new guys and have to go tell them, hey, go do this, set this thing up and do that. Not even like, because I never had to talk to Josh and tell him what I needed, because he knew exactly what he needed to go do and what he needed to go set up.
Right.
Never had to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, the man is great. He's a great paramedic. He's a great loss to the city of Orlando. The man's a healer. He fucking gave it. He loved the job.
Yeah.
And he can't do the job anymore. And some people just think he's trying to pull a fast one to try to get some money. Nah, man.
No.
He's trying to get whatever the
Definitely
fuck
not.
he's deserved.
Yeah. And if anybody actually talked to him and saw him, you would know that's not the case.
Yeah. You can see it.
Yeah.
And those are the people that don't understand the job.
Yeah.
And they don't understand mental illness.
Yeah.
Because you can't see it.
Yeah, absolutely. You cannot see it.
It's not visible. It's not, you don't see it unless they're, actively doing something in front of you. And then you still just go, oh, that guy's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I'll get off the soapbox. What you got before we leave?
It's great being back.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight all you guys because the song that he played was Family Matters. I'm just saying that, like, it's been brewing in me for the past hour right now, but the song that he played was Family Matters, and I will bet you a buffalo nickel.
Nico.
What's that?
Nico.
Nico?
I don't think you can say that fucking word on here. We apologize to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right. Exactly.
I don't even know what you said.
I don't
Yeah.
either.
I don't even know.
Probably
But
state
Indians
it.
are pissed off at us now. There's all kinds of people out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Family Matters theme, though.
Hey man, all I know is I heard that on thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's
Yeah,
Friday.
TGIF.
I remember that.
Yeah, what you got there, Hippo man?
Well, one of the biggest things is that one of our members did lose her daughter recently.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Thank you,
And,
sir.
I've been talking to her, just I left her alone through the whole thing, and
Yeah, me too. I've been texting her off and on.
yeah, and I can only imagine
I can't.
how
Mm-mm.
horrible
I can't even.
that could
fathom
be.
that.
And she's a pretty strong person, and she has grandchildren and other children to help her get through it, and her parents, stuff like that, but we're her family too. So we just want to let her know that we're thinking about her, and
We love
and we have you in our thoughts and prayers.
Absolutely, man. We do. What you got there, birthday buddy?
Don't be an asshole.
Damn right. Hey, by the way, I was thinking about it today. You're my Cecil from. I was watching the Black Jeopardy thing again. You're the dude that can fix everything for me. Like Jason fixed the Hewitt and my dog the other day.
The dog.
It's from the show. He goes, that guy fixed my refrigerator and my cat. Said my Cecil's called Jimmy. What you got, baby?
It's really not that hard to be nice. Just do it.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, a lot of shit we talked about today. Bob Saget's butt and head, which the mystery still continues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we will be doing some investigative reports, and I'm not saying that we're gonna rename the show to Dateline, but we will be Dateline. No, we won't. But we'll say, till the next time, go fuck yourself. Bye.